TV ni kirathimo iyo ni official page ito koguo witikire ku like comment hau na ushare na nigetha tuhote gukorwo tugitwarana hamwe nawe ni ndirakurehera mohoro njitagwo leo ajikwa njunge igo iganire muno makiria gukorwo gitwarana hamwe nani na tukianjiriria ni ati CS wa energy niwe Upio Wadai muthenya wa umuthi ni eguthiete gucera kaunti-ini ya Bungoma kuria eguthiete kuruguria kiganda gia thitima kia Bumula kiria kiratwika ati ni gigukorwo gikihuthira shilingi milioni 10 na kuhe micii iria itari na thitima makiria maigana rimwe ria 32 cia thitima iria itari na marihi kana thitima iria iratwika ni ya utambia wa last mile koguo o niguo gukuhanaga turia tuharirio ni mwandiki witu wa mohoro niwe Paul wa Shira.
Okay, we are also here really today to launch the last mile connectivity program for electricity in this village. A project that's going to cost us 10 million Kenya shillings, at the end of which 132 households are going to be connected to power without paying even a single cent. That is the principle here, that all those 132 households will be able to be connected to power without paying a single cent. And in the next 2 months or so, we shall be coming back here, hopefully, to lighten up the homes. Let me also say this, that this 10 million is just for this village. In the entire Bumula constituency, we have got a budget of 260 million Kenya shillings for rural electrification. For rural electrification. And it's going to cover about 9 or 10 projects. The biggest actually in the county. Okay? It's the biggest in the county. Bearing in mind that in the whole county, we have got 600 million Kenya shillings. Bungoma County. Okay. Those projects are going to ensure that in Bumula alone, we connect more than 1,200 households to electricity by the time it is completed. REREC contributes same amount of money. In Bungoma alone, we have been able to marshal about 125 million Kenya shillings through that scheme, with the county government giving us a whopping 45 million shillings. And thanks to the governor, Ken Lusaka. So I can only say for sure that going forward, this county is going to benefit immensely from these national government projects in partnership with the county government. And let me conclude by saying that what I have talked about so far is basically REREC initiated or implemented programs. In the entire Bungoma County, from the energy sector, we have got a money that we have allocated running to about 2.7 million shillings. Billion shillings. 2.7 billion shillings. If you subtract the 600 million of REREC, that leaves us with 2.1 billion shillings that is going through other agencies, especially Kenya Power and Lighting Company. So Bungoma County is actually very well placed in terms of this funding. And it can only help the county to move forward in terms of development.
And Waziri, I want to thank you. This is what broad-based government has brought. You can see within few months, we are already here launching a major program. So we want to thank the President for the thinking about the broad-based program, because every part of this Kenya pays taxes.
Interest of broad-based, alafu wewe ukiwa hapo, sasa tunaangalia vile tunaleta Kenya pamoja, so that Kenya is one country. I want to thank my sister, the CEO REREC and the team for what they have done for us. This project initially supposed to cost about 250 million. So far we have 60, but we will continue. Now with Upio and I as a CS, we will continue to ensure that every other time we have money to ensure that it goes to completion. So we are very grateful.
And thank the national government, REREC, for the partnership that we have entered to ensure that we provide power to our people and green energy. As you have been told, this land was acquired by the county government during my first regime, Lusaka 1. And I'm happy that today we are seeing the fruits of the vision that I had that time. This is a game changer, not only for Bumula, but the entire county.
EACC nĩruo Ethnic and Anti-Corruption Commission nĩrũnyitĩte obitha anene erĩ arĩa marekũĩrwo gũkorwo makuruhanĩtie na ciringi milioni 296 kuma kaunti-inĩ ya West Pokot. Ekũĩrwo aya marerĩkana atĩ nĩ obitha a kaunti ĩyo ya West Pokot na koguo nĩ mahotete gũkorwo makĩnyitwo na nĩgetha tũkorwo tũkĩmenya ũrĩa gũgũthiĩ na mbere kuma hau.
Picha tu ndio naogopa.
Na obitha a thamaki nĩo Kenya Fisheries Services matokoretio nĩ mũnini wa director nĩwe Christine Etiegi nĩmanyitĩte na gũthũkangia neti cia gũtega thamaki iria iratega na njĩra ya ngungo kana iria itagĩrĩire gũkorwo igĩtega na igakorwo igerete na njĩra ĩyo ya ngungo kaunti-inĩ ya Homa Bay cia mamilioni ma mbeca.
We are destroying some illegal nets which were impounded when we did enforcement in the lake. As we know, Kenya Fisheries Service mandate is to conserve, manage and develop the fisheries resources in the country. So this activity that we are doing here, we have been undertaking regional enforcement of regulations under the Ecofish program or project, which is funded by the EU. And this activity was undertaken in the 3 East African countries of Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. As you know, Lake Victoria is a riparian, is a transboundary lake, and the activities were synchronized. So in Kenya, we started this activity on the 3rd of this month, and so far, all the riparian counties in Lake Victoria have been covered. So we did both what we call land enforcement and water enforcement. And in Homa Bay, where we are today, we did both land and water enforcement, in which a number of illegal fishing gears were confiscated. By illegal, I mean that these are fishing gears that are not allowed by law. And for some reason, it's like fishermen are using them, thereby destroying the resource. So our mandate, which is to conserve, we work very closely with them to ensure that whatever they put in the lake is what is legally allowed so that we conserve the resource. When I talk about MCS, monitoring, control and surveillance, the monitoring bit is done by Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. They are the ones who do the research and they tell us exactly what is in the lake, how the stocks are going down based on the sizes of the fish which are being landed, the total biomass and all that. So we know that things are not good in the lake through the research that is done. Then us, we are in the management bit, so we come and enforce. And of course, working together with other offices. We want to restore Lake Victoria back to its lost glory, what it used to be before, whereby you'll see a fisherman landing fish and you're also proud as a fisheries officer to see the kind of landings they are bringing.
Every fisher is supposed to be a responsible fisherman, fishing following the due process of the law. Breeding grounds must be protected. It's from there that the stocks in the lake are replenished. Using legally accepted fishing gear so that we sustain the incomes here, so that we sustain the livelihoods here. And so, as a government, we are very keen on ensuring that the fisheries resources in this lake are used prudently to give us the economic benefits desired now and in the future. Let us remember this. Kenya has only 6% of this lake. Only 6%. The larger part is shared between Uganda and Tanzania. Yet, it is the most important also fishery in this country, employing hundreds of thousands of households. Their incomes and livelihoods are coming from there. School fees for children, food, fresh fish, much desired proteins in households. So the fishing activity here, and we want all the fishers to understand, the fishing they are doing here is not just simple fishing. It is a very important, it has a very important role to play in the economic life of this country. Kenya Fisheries Service is one of our enforcement arm that enforces fishery regulations to provide for responsible fishing so that we can sustain these economic benefits and the good that we are accruing as a country from this sector.
It is true that for some time now, the fishery has been going down. When I look at last year's statistics, Homa Bay that used to realize something in the region of 100,000 metric tons is now recording just around 40,000. In fact, it is 39,000 metric tons. That shows you that the resource is dying. And it is emphasized that we must come up.
Thank you muno mwiroreri wa Fuma TV ni gwitikira gutwarana hamwe na ithuĩ thĩinĩ wa mohoro maitu na ngihoka nĩ wĩtĩkĩrĩte gũikara hau mĩtambo-inĩ na nĩgetha ũkorwo ũgĩtwarana hamwe na ithuĩ tũkĩmenya maũndũ marĩa matinda makĩhanĩka. Riboti ĩyo nĩyo tũkwamba tũingĩrie nayo, twambe tũhũrĩrwo ndũmĩrĩri cigana na cia wonjoria njokererie na nĩgetha tũthiĩ na mbere na mohoro marĩa marĩ mbere itũ.
Hihi no wende kugemia nyumba yaku na itambaya cia kĩrĩu, curtains cia rũthingo, cia mirango ona dirisha, ruskafa seite mĩthemba yothe ona hamwe na neti cia kwĩgitĩra rwagĩ, ona kugemia ũrĩrĩ waku. Ningĩ twĩna material cia nguo mĩthemba yothe ta gĩtenge na ingĩ nyingĩ. Tũcerere Victory Center ground floor mwena wa Thigio Ndĩiya Rĩmuru, kana ũtũhũrĩre namba ici 0725 43 63 80 kana 0733 288 161.
Kiroto kia mũndũ wothe nĩ kwĩgũrĩra mũgũnda kana buroti we mwene. Tafis Properties mena mũgũnda Maraba hakuhĩ na airport ona tauni ya Malindi. Mĩgũnda ĩno ĩna maĩ na thitima, barabara nĩ njake wega, kwĩna macukuru, thibitarĩ, makanitha ona borithi ĩrĩ hau hakuhĩ nĩ ũndũ wa ũgitĩri. Buroti ya 50 by 100 ũrenderio bei ya 52,000. No book plot ĩno na 2,000 harĩ namba ĩno 0725436380. Icio ingĩ wambĩrĩrie kũrĩhĩra o kahora. Kwa ũhoro makĩria hũra namba ici 0725436380 kana 0727708314. Wĩhĩkahĩke ndũkahĩtũkĩrĩrwo nĩ wega ũyũ.
Hihi wena mwako ona no wende kumenya kuria ungiruta materials cia mwako na bei facility. Uka guku gwa Tafis Properties wigurire indo ta mahiga ma muthingi, ma kwambatia nyumba, kagoto, muthanga, thimiti na indo ingĩ ciothe iria cionekaga hardware-inĩ ta cuma na mabati. Ningĩ twina rori ya gugukuira indo icio nginya haria uraka. Tukoragwo Thigio Town, barabara-inĩ ya Thogoto Mutarakwa Road. Tuhurire thimu ici 0727 708 314 kana 0733 288161 0727 708 314 0733 288161.
Nĩũtũire wĩrirĩirie kũgĩa na buroti no ũkarigwo ũkũgũra kũ. Ũhoro mwega nĩ atĩ kũrĩa Maĩ Mahiũ mwena wa Nyakinyua twĩna buroti 4 ciĩ kũndũ kwega na ũrenderio na bei bacĩrĩre makĩria. Buroti ici ci hakuhĩ na stage ya mũgithi kũrigania na dry port. Okuo kwĩna nyũmba ya mahiga ya 2 bedroom kũrĩa ũngĩikara ũtarĩ na wagagu. Kwĩna maĩ na thitima na ũgitĩri nĩ mũbacĩrĩre. Kwa ũhoro makĩria aranĩria na Joseph kuri namba ici 0790878756 kana 0755746122.
Hihi nĩ ũrĩ mũndũ kana we wiki no wende kũgĩa na mwendwa? Ndeto njega ĩ haha. Fuma TV nĩ tũnyitithanagia endwa, mwendwa wa gũkwenda, gũkũmĩrĩria, gũkũruta ihoru na mwake mũciĩ mũrũmu hamwe. Tũhũrĩre thimũ ici 0725436380 kana 0733288161 wĩgĩre na mwendwa, kana ũke wabici-inĩ citũ Thigio Town mwena wa Ndia Limuru. Mawatho na mĩtaratara kũhũthĩka.
Nĩ wĩriragĩria gũthiĩ handũ keheri-inĩ kana haraya na mũciĩ kũhoya na gũthaitha Ngai. Gũkũ kanitha-inĩ wa Step with Victory twĩna nyũmba nyingĩ na njega cia mahoya kana prayer center kũrĩa ũngĩgĩa na ihinda rĩega rĩa kũhoya kwa matukũ marĩa ũkwenda. Nyũmba ici nĩ theru, kwĩna maĩ na thitima, ona ũgitĩri nĩ mũbacĩrĩre. Ningĩ irigainie na kanitha harĩa ũngĩthiĩ rĩrĩa wanoga nĩ kũhoera nyũmba. Marĩhi maitũ nĩ mabacĩrĩre. Wenda kũmenya ũhoro makĩria tũcerere wabici-inĩ citũ mwena wa Thigio Town Ndia Limuru kũrigania na Fuma TV, na no ũhũre thimũ ici 0725436380 kana 0727708314. Ũka ũgĩe na ihinda rĩega rĩa gũthaitha Ngai.
Fuma TV thĩinĩ wa mohoro maitũ na ngĩhoka nĩ wakorwo ũgĩtwarana hamwe na wonjoria ũrĩa wakorwo ũgĩthiĩ na mbere thĩinĩ wa TV yaku. Ene biacara icio nĩ gwĩtĩkĩra metĩkagĩra kwaranĩria hamwe na ithuĩ kũgerera harĩ namba ĩrĩa hau thĩinĩ wa screen, nao meka ũguo magatwĩta tũgathiĩ nginya harĩa biacara ciao irĩ, tũkahota kuoya mbica cia products kana indo iria marendia, tũgoka tũgathondeka advert tũkamĩkĩra TV-inĩ na twamĩmũrĩkithia ũguo makahota gũkorwo makĩhũrĩrwo thimũ, tondũ nĩ mahĩtira twĩkĩra adverts nĩ twĩkĩraga namba cia thimũ ũrĩa ũngĩhota kumanyita na nigetha kuma hau biacara ciao igatherema na nigetha ikahota kwendia nao magakenerera kuona atĩ biacara ciao nĩ ciatuĩka cia gũtherema na kwandandũka. Koguo nawe wĩ hau ũngĩenda gũkorwo ũkĩmũrĩkithia biacara yaku thĩinĩ wa TV ya Fuma TV, ĩtĩkĩra kuoya namba ĩrĩa hau thĩinĩ wa screen, wĩtĩkĩra kwaranĩria hamwe na ithuĩ na nigetha tũgũteithĩrĩrie ũrĩa nawe ũngĩhota gũkorwo ũkĩmũrĩkithia. Na tũcoke thĩinĩ wa mohoro maitũ nĩ atĩ arutwo a thukuru wa Polytechnic wa Nyandarua mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ nĩ mekũrũrũnganĩte makiuga atĩ mbeca ciao cia ngombo iria makoretwo maihũria cia health iria maheagwo nĩ thirikari nĩ moigĩte atĩ nĩ ikoretwo icerithĩirio mũno makĩria, na makoiga atĩ nĩ maiguĩte kwĩna ũndũ atĩ thirikari nĩ kanjĩte gũkorwo makĩheo mbeca icio makiuga ati nicio ikoragwo ikimateithĩrĩria muno makiria thiini wao kuhota gukorwo makihota gwiteithia na uhoro wa kuriha thukuru kana njira ya school fees, makihoya thirikari ikorwo ikimathikĩrĩria na nikio mahotire gukorwo makiumira barabara-ini na nigetha makorwo makigeria guthikĩrĩrio na nigetha maiguo na niguo mahote gukorwo magitengererio kuheo mbeca icio cia HELB. Ni moigite ati ni ikoretwo igicerithĩrio na koguo magacoka magakigia na fununu na nikio kindu kimwe kiria gitumite makorwo makiumira barabara-ini makienda kuonania ati nima matikenetio ni undu ucio.
Number one, we have fee issues. Number one, the reason as to why we are on the Sawa, okay, comrade. Whatever. Number one, the reasons as to why the comrades are on the street. Number one, they claim is fee issues, examination charges, issues with the school portals, learning resources for our campus down there called Bridge Hill. Number three, wanafunzi wenye walikuwa wameapply HELB yao wanafunzi wote imekansoliwa. Tuko na wanafunzi wengi sana wenye wameingia. This one now I direct to the PS of education. Tulifile petition about the HELB. Lakini HELB yenye tulifile hatujapata response mpaka saa hii. The thousands of students that you see in this institution, wote wamedecide kuenda wote. Sawa comrades? Yes. Wamedecide kuenda streets kwa sababu number one, HELB imekansoliwa Kenya mzima. Tunataka tuambiwe waziwazi ni kwa nini HELB imekansoliwa na wanafunzi wote wataenda wapi after wamekosa pesa.
This comrade you see here, they have a lot of grievances to send to the Minister of Education and to the minister within the school. And because the boss who give you the mandate, it is within the government. And he is the same leader who said the education is 100% transition. And why this? We have not demonstrated to the route either to destruct anybody's property. Yes. Because this is the one we do transport. Even maybe entering the school, neither going. But you have to do a respect with the school. Why throw the tear gas within the school?
Whatever Matoyo Wanyonyi Austin, a student leader at the Nyandarua National Polytechnic, and whatever you're witnessing right now is some riots witnessed today because of some issues concerning fees. And regarding this, we are concerned about the HELB applications that were just cancelled over the weekend, and the students are demanding for feedback because we understand that many of the students are depending on those funds. Many of these students are not able to pay for their fees, and most of them are substantially relying on those funds. So we are looking forward as the government.
Riboti iyo igi Nyandarua Polytechnic ni atugikira nayo waturumo mohoro maitu ma Fuma Tv wa-ini wa umuthi na ngihoka ati ni twakorwo